I got something to say.
I'm shocked.
You put work in because your shelves behind you look stunning.
I'm glad you noticed because I did that about a week and a half ago.
We care enough to say things look really good back there.
I don't think you really look at my shelves.
I like you to not know what's coming. That's what it is.
Cop out.
Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton. That right there is my literary wingman, Little Jakey. Two beautiful shelves. My little show of happiness. The best producer on booktube. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
4 is enough for you.
My name is Jacob, and I'm happy to be here. I agree. 4 is enough. And
yes,
1 is enough announcements because you have 1 announcement today. Am I right?
I have 1 announcement. Look real quick. I got to say happy 4th. It was the 4th this weekend. I hope you guys had a great time. I hope everyone out there that celebrated did so safely and wonderfully and had a lovely, lovely holiday weekend for those that celebrated. And I got to tell you, I want to tell you, before we get rolling here, I was thinking earlier on this holiday weekend that I am so unbelievably lucky because I get to start my week in and week out, hanging out with you, talking about books.
This is strangely heartwarming for no reason. I'm wondering what's going on.
It was just a thought I had. I mean, I don't know. We've done a lot of these, and it's I'm just thankful for it.
Well, I feel the same
just
way.
letting
I'm thankful to be here too. It's cool that we get to do this.
You can't just surf off of my wholesome niceness.
Absolutely,
you have to come
I
up
can.
With,
I just did.
No, later on. No, you have to come up with something all on your own.
I'll forget.
That's assured. Yes, we have 1 announcement. We have 1 big announcement.
We're going to Worldcon, and we're very excited.
Going to Worldcon. So if you're going to be in Anaheim, if you're going to be at Worldcon, come hang out with us. Come say hello. We would love to meet you, shake your hand, and have a great time. We can't wait. We can't wait to go. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. We've made some plans to meet up with some amazing people.
Yes.
And it's going to be exciting.
Going to be a blast. You went last year, and I think had a really lovely time. So I can't wait to go this year.
Oh, it was unbelievable. You almost went last year.
I did.
But then things came up last minute. I hope that doesn't happen, and I hope you get to come and enjoy it. You're going to have a blast.
I think so. Yeah. Very much looking forward to it. And if you're all going, let us know in the comments so we can look forward to meeting you all.
All right. It is time. Bar the windows, lock the doors. It's time to close out that world. Get rid of that stress. Breathe in, breathe out. We're going to talk about story and art and how it hit us this week. Everything we got up to. I can't wait, man. You start. You go. You go first. What did you read this week, my son?
Well, you know what I've been reading is the same book that I've been reading for a long time, which is The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie, except this time.
I'm hoping there's been a jump.
I've actually made some progress. How far do you think I am?
I'm going to say I think you're over halfway.
You would be correct. I am just under 60% of the way through.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
You're getting into it. You are getting into it.
Very much getting into it. Not only getting into just me enjoying it, I'm getting into it, but also getting into kind of the story of what's really going on here.
Yeah.
Man, I the more I think about what I said last week, just the more true it becomes as I go through this story, that so many people warned me beforehand that Jacob, I know the Devils wouldn't really your kind of jam, and that's cool. It's you like it. I'm great. I'm glad you like it. Everyone likes their books, whatever. But not a huge amount of plot in The Blade itself. And I think that could not be more wrong. I think that is a huge misconception because as I'm getting further into the story, there's such a interesting take going on here. It's just with the genre of grimdark in general, because it's not really grimdark. We have all these different POVs that we're following in this world that is incredibly grim, and like every single person's opinion about the and dark, grim and dark, both together, not exclusive whatsoever. Both together.
This world is a rough place. This world is not where you want a holiday.
Yeah. Everybody's opinion that you get about the world is like, okay, this world sucks and everybody knows it. That's what this world is, right? Yeah. And it's cool. It's a very interesting world. But as we move on, we get into the reasons that why people don't like this world. And you get world events that you get to see from different points of view. So you get different contexts on things in a way that's like, okay, what is really the definition of justice here? I see a lot of people throwing around the term, give me the king's justice. But when you switch POVs to somebody else and they say, give me the king's justice, they're not talking about the same thing. Those are two very different justices that they're looking for.
Yes.
Right. And once you zoom out and look at all of these POVs that you're getting, it kind of illustrates how much corruption is going on in this world, so that it can feel like the classic grimdark, oh, there is no hope, it's just all corruption. But every once in a while, you hit one of these characters that even if they don't see it in themselves, there is hope. There is still goodness in the world. And I cannot wait to see that. I assume that maybe blossoms a little bit throughout the series, but enjoying so many of these characters now. Originally, I was just enjoying Logan. I'm enjoying Gisele's chapters a lot more, though I'm still not a huge fan of him as a person. Really loving Logan, really loving Baez, now really loving Pharaoh, and really loving West as well. Really like West, which I was not expecting we were going to get so much of West.
Yes, you're getting quite a bit of West's sister as well.
RD, yeah. I like RD quite a bit too. Like a lot of these characters are kind of growing on me.
And you're right. They keep trying to move forward. They keep trying to do their best in a very, very difficult world to do your best in. And I love how you say everyone talks about the king's justice. And what is justice? What does that mean? It depends on your perspective, your point of view. And I think that stands in such stark relief of some of the classic fantasy that Abercrombie is kind of taking a run out here. Like when you think about Tolkien and these other classics in fantasy, you knew where justice was. You knew what was light. You knew what was dark. There was a very fine line dividing those things, and you knew. Here, everything kind of bleeds over one way or another, and you find yourself rooting for people that you would never root for in one of these other types of series. And I think that is so amazing. Let me ask you something as a filmmaker that now you're far enough in, and I've been holding on to this question. Okay. When you're reading this book, aren't there scenes that you would just, I would love to shoot that scene. Oh, man. Yeah. I would love to let a couple of heavyweight actors get a hold of that dialogue and just go for it.
There are some scenes that as I've read them, I felt like you don't even have to put that into script format. I could storyboard that right now. Like just as is. It is so cinematically fluid that it could be adapted just right away. It's really incredible. And yet the book as a whole, I think, would be extremely difficult to adapt because it's so many different POVs going on.
Yeah, you would have to do episodic, I think. I don't think you could do a 90-minute, 2 hours.
No, definitely not. Yeah. And even episodic, I think, would be very difficult trying to hold attention spans for people because you'd spread yourself so thin trying to get everything in there.
I get it. But I can't wait for you to get further. I'm so happy you're enjoying this. So halfway into book 1, would you say you're interested in books 2 and 3? This is a journey you do want to finish, it's early because you haven't seen the end yet.
That is true. Yeah. But from what I've heard of the end from you, like not that you've told me anything about the end, but just the faces that you make and the noises that I hear, I think I'll really like the end. So
I think so.
Okay.
I think you will.
Yeah, I would like to continue. I would like to read books 2 and 3 because from what I've heard from you as well, I think I would really like those, perhaps even more than this first one.
I think what I will say is the character arcs are spread over these 3 books. You get such payoff, you get such poignant pathos and catharsis as you follow these characters, and disappointments and travails as as you follow these characters all the way through all 3 books. They get into situations you have no idea are coming.
See, that I can't wait for. I'm starting to like these people, and I know that there are going to be times later where that is maybe used against me. I'm still really worried about Baez. Still not sure if I should be liking him or not. but it's too late because I already do. So
Of course, you know, the wizard. How could you not like Byatt?
He's kind of the best, but I'm worried he's secretly not. The last thing that I will say that makes me really happy to see is that it was such a cool. I don't think this is really a spoiler. There's a character that is a torturer. Obviously, we'll go too much further than that.
Everyone, I mean, it's fair. Glocka,
Yeah,
everyone, I think that's on the dust jacket.
Yeah, that's not really.
Everyone knows what Glocka does. I think it's on the dust jacket. Yeah.
I was not prepared for how brilliantly that was going to be used to show some of the powerlessness to unraveling all of the corruption. That, say, if you find somebody, or say you find a string of people that have committed crimes that you're pretty sure they've committed, and you sit them all down and you torture them until they've said, yes, fine, I committed the crime. You've tortured me enough. Here's my confession, right? Mm-hmm. Only to find out later, one of them lied and maybe didn't commit the crime at all. You just tortured them enough to make them either believe that they did it, or you just tortured them enough that they just want you to stop torturing them, so they're going to say whatever you want, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, it brings it back to, how can you possibly define justice if you can't even find truth? Like if beating somebody over the head until they say yes is not a reliable way to get truth, and clearly it isn't, how do you get it from these people?
It's over and over again. I think you'll find in the first law world, right and wrong are the hardest commodity to come by.
There's too much gray. There's too much complications for there to be a binary. It's not possible. It's really...
And perspective. And the characters are so rich and full. It's perspective from that character of what right, what wrong, what justice is. Yeah.
Such a cool way to show that. It really... That's what I think a lot of the strength of the different POVs shows. But that is all that I read this week. So how about you?
Well, I wrapped up, I had about 100 pages left last week of Larry Correia, American Paladin.
Yeah.
This is book 1 in the, I don't think there's a series name. I'm just going to say Mike Spears, the Mike Spears series. Wrap this up. Totally satisfying ending on this, and not just did it wrap up this tale of vengeance-fueled cosmic vigilante cowboy story, but it also sets us up on a journey. It sets us up this loner, this vigilante, oftentimes a loner, is kind of putting a little bit of a found family together. Things are waking up in himself. This vengeance-fueled journey that him losing his family started. By the end of this book, he's been on this journey, and I think Larry Correia does such a great job of, he's been on this journey for vengeance, but hasn't been able to find anything because this is extra-dimensional baddies kind of slipping in and out. How could you find clues like that? How could you grab hold of that reality when it's so intangible? This first book is where Mike Spears finally gets a handhold on that. He finally gets to actualize what he's been working towards all these years of trying to get some vengeance for what happened to him and his family. So this is the first time he's able to do that. So you feel like, even though he's not a kid, you feel like you're starting with him in his journey. And it also structurally does a great job of flashing back through his... training and how he came to be here. So there's some flashbacks that fill in a lot of holes, and there's this kickoff mission that really sets things rolling and really starts things off and really expands what we understand of our world, that there are worlds within worlds. There is more philosophy than is dreamt of in your reality because we don't know what's just one dimension over. And it's such a cool way to look at the American West in these thin places and what's happening and what's crossing over. And I just loved it. And I loved by the end of this that we have kind of a new family being built. We have kind of a found family being built. We have kind of more than just Mike Spears. We have several characters, several personalities that I can't wait to check in with on book 2 and see how this is going to move going forward. But I have to say, very satisfying, very fun, very brutal. Just a great vengeance-fueled type of romp. and I am all in. I can't wait for book 2. I'm quite excited and satisfied for the Mike Spears journey.
Great, man. Big thumbs up for your first Larry Correa book. That makes me happy.
Yeah. I was kind of hoping it would give me kind of like Repairman Jack or Joe Lansdale vibes, and it kind of does. It kind of borrows from a lot of different types of, that Night-Errant type of thing, that vigilante type of thing, that Dresden type of feel of one person standing between us and the unknown, and it does a great job of that. It really absolutely scratches that itch, and I had a great time with that. But that was wrapped up before July. That was the last couple days of June. I had 100 pages, and I did wrap it up.
Okay, so then first read for July was?
First read for July was Isles of the Emberdark by Mr. Brandon Sanderson.
Oh, yes.
I started, I finished. I am again completely caught up with the Cosmere.
And by the way, I saw you not long ago in person and saw you holding this book, and I asked, how is it going? And all you did was go, oh. So now expand on what that meant.
Okay. I really liked, I can't remember the name of the collection. It's fled my mind. But there's a story in there called, I believe, Sixth of Dusk. And that's the jumping off place for this entire novel. It's kind of a longish, I wouldn't call it a novella, kind of a longish short story. And I really liked it. I really like that one. It's one of the standouts in that collection for me. Rampant technology, progress that you can't stand in front of and stop. What does that mean for conservation? What does that mean for who we are? Those of us that draw our identity from the world as it is, because it's moving so quickly forward. And I find myself, as I get a little bit older, I feel these things as the world changes under my feet, and I have fonder memories for what the past was. So I really, that novella, that short story, whatever it was, Sixth of Dusk, really spoke to me. So I was kind of excited for this. And let me tell you, if you've read that and you're like, oh, I don't have to read this, I'm sure it's just expanding that I've read. This structurally is broken up into 4 books. And book 1, let me see where the ending of book 1 is.
Is this going to take a while?
So the way it's structurally, it's set into 4 books, and book 1 is that long, this long.
Okay.
Now, the original novella is pretty much here, but it's only a portion of it's not even all of book 1. It's a portion of book 1. And what's added is, I'm not even going to tell you. But if you think, oh, this is just, I've already read it, I don't need to dive into this. It's just not even the whole. It's just a portion of this first book 1 of this novel. And then it goes wildly off the rails from there. What I will say now, after having read this and expanded this is my favorite of the secret projects.
Really?
This is my
even more than Tress of the Emerald Sea, because that was originally your favorite, I believe.
This is I will rank this above Tress of the Emerald Sea. I think this is my favorite of the secret projects. I think I have a couple new favorite characters in the entire Cosmere with Sixth and Starling. I love the way this goes between Sixth and Starling and tells these stories and wraps them together by motivation and intent and where it's going and how they come together and how they're the same and how they're different. I love that this has some things to say about the Cosmere as a whole in all at one time. This is a story about furthest into the future of the Cosmere, so we get to see some things way past that we have in the past, but also it's all springing from things that happen far back into the prehistory, even back before, I don't want to say because no spoilers if you haven't started your Cosmere journey, but there is a huge cataclysm that causes this kind of whole Cosmere to be built. And some of this prehistory happens even before that cataclysm. So we have far in the future, and we have all of the springboarding off of the far, far deep past. And we have these two characters trying to rectify these two things and how it all swirls together and comes together. And I felt quite the emotional punch at the end. By the end of this, when I kind of read, talk about coming together, found family, talk about that kind of feeling. And we get some denizens of different worlds here that we've kind of visited and kind of seen in the past if you've read all the Cosmere, but they're seen in such a different light here being pulled together and acting. It's almost like you get a bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy type of vibe for a good chunk of this. And it really worked for me. And by the end of that, the coming together, the importance of camaraderie and companionship was in such a beautifully fashioned button right there at the end, this bow that kind of tied it all together. I welled up a little bit at the end. It really had an emotional effect on me. And also, I love that theme of the power of our imagination, the power of story, through these stories to define and lay concrete reality around us by how we see the world and our past and ourselves and our future in story. One of my favorite themes ever, and it's so present here in this book. So I really, really had a great time. This is such an amazing way to kick off the month. My favorite secret project to date.
Man, I believe been a while since Brandon Sanderson brought some tears to your eyes as well.
I gotta tell you, the ending of this, and it surprised me. He's not someone really that elicits emotions like that. I'll chuckle now and again. The expanse of it all as far as the Cosmere goes, I go, wow, that's imaginative. That's really, the scope is really big on that. Like, those kind of things will hit me.
Sure.
But he's not someone that I think about like, ooh, this is going to tug right here a little bit. And he did it. He absolutely did it for me in this one. I don't know if it's just because the characters and the themes and all the things were hitting so perfectly well for me. But it just worked. It just worked. And I'm so happy that I have this lovely edition from Dragonsteel because in the beginning, you do have some white pages here. And then when the story goes to kind of a darker reality somewhere else, that is why you have the black pages with white ink, because you are in and amongst the Isles of the Emberdark. And it's that dark black reality around you that causes the change in this beautiful physical package that I couldn't be happier I have now because I love the book so much.
Quick question for you. Did the black paper with white ink give you a headache?
Not at all.
Really?
It was quite easy to read. Yeah. And I know you told me, ooh, that's going to be a problem for you. Not at all. It was completely comfortable.
I'm very surprised. Because usually looking at your iPad or any kind of different normal viewing situation, it causes problems for you. I'm really glad that worked out.
You would think I wouldn't be a good candidate or I would be uncomfortable, but nope. I absolutely was very comfortable with it, and just lovely art through this as well. I kind of don't want to show you because, I don't want to spoil anything, but great way to kick off the month. My favorite secret project. It feels with liking the book this much, I have to say it feels enormously exciting to be completely caught up again. And you get to see some familiar faces that I was so excited and happy to see. And I can't wait for the next secret project that will be out before the end of the year. And I'll be ready for that one as well.
Very cool. So then what did you pick up after that? After
that, it was time to pick up Book 2, In Between Earth and Sky by Rebecca Rowanhorse. This is Fevered Star. And I am, I'm going to say a little bit over 100 pages in. I should probably, if I stay on target, be wrapping this up by Tuesday. And this is a big read-along group. Not a big one, but every year, Josh at Red Fury Books and I kind of pick a trilogy, and we'll do a book a month for 3 months and get together and talk about that. This year, the amazing Dr. Philip Chase at The Best of Fantasy is joining us. And we will be having our first discussion on Black Sun, which is book 1, this month, I believe, on the Good Doctor's channel. So that will be coming. I'll let everyone know when that's happening. But it was time to start book 2. And now, usually I would have to search the memory banks and go, oh, what's the name of this series? What's the name of this trilogy? And now I know, Between Earth and Sky, because now, about 100 or so pages into this, I know exactly why it's called that and why it fits, and it's all starting to come together. And I mean, this is it's, again, only 100 pages or so. But what I liked so much about Black Sun is how it was calling me. Like, these characters we've got like probably about 4 good POVs. And by towards the end of that book, they were like, I would set the book down because I have to do something. And it's like, it would call to me. It's like, I want to get back to what's going to go on. What's happening here? I want to find out. And it leaves you after such an event at the end of book 1. Everything, the world, everything, all these characters, it's all different. They took the big etch-a-sketch of the universe of this world and shook it, and it's all new now. So now we're just kind of catching up with where we left off each of these 4 characters, and we're kind of seeing what they're doing and how they're maybe on a collision course, maybe not on a collision course, what they're feeling, what they're doing, how they're getting used to things, and I'm starting to see that this story of Between Earth and Sky, of where we would be as people in this fight between ideologies of gods, and where these gods are being called down to, between Earth and Sky in this war, as they're being called down to these vessels to make these huge moves. I gotta tell you, I don't know exactly where all of it's going, but again, 100 pages in, Fevered Star is calling me every bit as much. And one of the characters that you kind of think, wow, I'm kind of surprised this character has a POV. I didn't know if she would be as important as some of these other characters we're following, but now, yeah, I'm starting to see, okay, absolutely, she could be very, very important. I got to tell you, I'm not saying top 5, I don't think.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm not saying top 5, but let's see how this wraps up. The way this is calling to me,
you're talking
and
about
the way it's
just
starting,
like your list of fantasy series?
No, my list of fantasy trilogies. The way it's starting to call to me, the way thematically it's starting to make sense to me, the way I'm started to really feel a tug for some of these characters, like you're finding in First Law as you move on.
Right.
I don't know. This could make the list of trilogies. It could make the list.
Wow. Okay. Was not expecting that at all.
I'm not either. We'll see what happens. We'll see where I'm at the end of this book, which should be, again, by Tuesday.
So then what will you pick up when you're
full report
done?
Next week. Okay, so if I'm wrapping that Tuesday,
yeah.
So Wednesday, I'm going into what people think is one of the best indie books all time, bar none ever. I'm going into M.L. Wong's Sword of Kaigen. I'm starting on Wednesday.
Expectations? How you feeling?
I got to tell you, my expectations are extremely high for this. Extremely high for this. Like, This is one of those. First of all, this edition from Wraithmark Books is just gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, if the story doesn't live up to this package, first of all, I'll be somewhat upset. But hearing so many people, we got a map here on the backside. Hearing so many people tell me how emotionally deep this is, how it's going to make me feel for these characters, how it's going to just suck me into this world. I am at the highest of expectations at this point. And having said that, like, I think, we put this out that this is our book club pick. This is our Patreon book club, so we'll have lots to talk about this month. One of the favorite things we do here. And once we put it out, I've seen some comments here on BookTube. I've seen some comments on Instagram and X and Twitter, TikTok, or whatever, wherever it is we are. People tell me, I've found some naysayers. I found some people leave comments say, it's not all that. Prepare yourself. It's not all that. But even with those few comments here and there, my expectations are as high for a book as they've been for a good while. Because
there are still a lot of people that say it's absolutely incredible.
For all those naysayers out there that say, oh yeah, no, it falls short here, and it's not. there's just comment after comment after comment after comment of, people that truly, truly love this book. So again, off the chart expectations.
One way to find out. We'll see.
The month has been kicked off. July has been kicked off in a great, great fashion.
But that doesn't mean that we're done yet, because we still got to talk about movies and TV.
Hit me.
We hit each other. You caught up on House of the Dragon? Because I am.
Oh, I didn't know you were caught up.
I am caught up.
I have watched the first 2 episodes, and I just got to say, this could be my favorite season. So far, like, I know we're only 2 episodes in.
I completely, easily, I think, favorite season.
But
and
like,
you know what? It's because this is the season where things are happening, and that's not.
It's been building up to this,
yes.
And in a way, it makes me appreciate, because I can be just like the next person. It's like, you got dragons, let's get to it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But the punch I felt from episode 2, I don't know if I would have felt that if the time hadn't been taken, but all the things that went down in episode 2, the punch that was there because of the buildup that we've had for these character moments that happen. And it's like, we can talk off camera. It's like, it was quite impactful. I thought not only was it just shot beautifully, there's a couple of angles and a couple things they did with camera. I was like, all right, I don't know who their DP was, but that shot there is everything.
I don't know. I know that when they got to season 2, they didn't have Miguel Sapochnik anymore, who I believe was the showrunner for season 1 and had a lot to do with, I think he directed a couple episodes as well. But by the time that they went to season 2, he decided to leave. And I think season 2 is like the worst season. It's still good TV, but
yeah,
very, very slow. And not a lot happens that feels like we get built up to happen. But season 3,
the first 2 episodes here,
like I don't know if it's a new team. I haven't really looked through the credits much, but it feels like whoever's running this thing is on their A game. They're killing it.
I mean, it starts out with the Battle of the Gullet, and then episode 2, you're like, all right, how are you going to outdo that? And for emotional impact and just for things that happen, it's right up there, man. The first 2 episodes of this season, I can't S tier. I can't grade A for me.
I don't know if I can give it S tier, because I feel like some of the emotional moments that I feel like by the time we got to season 3 of Game of Thrones, that if there was a character death, I would have been like, oh no, I would have been devastated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In season 3, we're having character deaths that my reaction is this. Oh,
I can see that. I can see your point there. I don't have as deep a love for these characters as I did for, say, some of the personalities in Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I think the only person I have a really deep love for in this story is Daemon, because he's played by Matt Smith and he's doing such a good job, even though dude is a straight up tool sometimes. Sometimes that guy just sucks. There's no getting around it. Still love him as a character, but what a guy.
There's a guy comfortable in his own skin. Daemon knows he sucks and doesn't care. Like, it doesn't even register for him. Like, he's completely comfortable being Daemon. Doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, I just remembered there was a hugely important character death that happened the last episode, and I completely forgot about it. And that's my point. Like, I don't know that I can give it S tier because of that.
Okay, grade A. I'll say grade A. I take your point.
I'll take A.
But
A's fair, I think.
For spectacle, like for these first 2 episodes, for spectacle, pretty like great. Just look, I'm not the biggest guy for CGI. Like, it's not. When it works great, and it works great here. Like these dragons to me, like, holy crap, that's a dragon there. Like, I don't know how the CGI works so much better in this show than I've seen it on other things, but it's like, it completely suspends my disbelief in this show. It looks real.
Agreed. Which I think is like part of the show only works if that happens, right? Because it's not like a scene comes up where it's like a dragon. It's like, I don't buy it, and then we move on. Like it's the same thing with you and Mom have talked about this loads of time with Game of Thrones. That like you have to buy the groundedness and the drama, and it gets heightened and heightened and heightened, so that by the time you get to the end of season 1, and they go, "Oh, there's dragons," you go, "Well, of course, you're in." Right.
Yeah.
The CGI has to do a similar thing. It has to be so real, and the spectacle has to be so flawless that you glaze right over it and you go, okay, well, it's real. Now I'm just watching the actors play, right? I get to watch the drama around the spectacle because I buy the spectacle.
But the ships in the Battle of the looked like there were ships. Like they have done an amazing job production wise. Yeah. Production level is.
I would love to see if when the season's over that maybe they do like a big VFX breakdown.
They do a full on documentary. There's already a couple episodes out on the making.
Oh really? Okay, I'll watch that then. That's cool.
Yeah, check it out. There's a whole documentary, and I think an episode or 2 is out. So anything else?
There is. When I say we, I mean me and Amanda, of course, had a bit of a throwback this week.
I love a throwback.
And it started out worrisome because have you ever been in a situation where you're like, wonder if this movie from my childhood is actually good or if I was just a kid, you know?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And then you decide to rewatch the movie and you go, this could maybe ruin a piece of my childhood if this turns out to be bad.
This could go badly.
Yeah.
I could list a movie right now. I don't think it's what you guys did, but I can list a movie now that should absolutely
go for it.
Be on that list for you. Dunstan Checks In.
Oh man, movie sucks. That movie's rough.
We watched Dunstan Checks In 3,000 times with you, I think.
I watched it again recently, like maybe a year ago. That is a rough watch, man. That is hard to get through. But no, we watched The Karate Kid Part 1 and 2.
Those hold up.
Holds up, dude. Those movies are great.
Those hold up.
You know what makes it great is that I can't remember the last time that I watched a unlikely hero, kind of a nerdy-ish, unpopular kid that gets power and rises above it all and finds success, you know, whatever. Like that could be globbed onto any type of story that's all over the place. I can't remember seeing a story like that with a character as likable as Daniel.
Here's the thing. So you've watched Karate Kid and Karate Kid 2.
Right. Yeah.
Just put on Cobra Kai.
I've seen like 2 seasons of Cobra Kai.
Okay. So, but put it on with Amanda. Like they do such an amazing job of following up those stories so many years later.
But I think we might watch it. I'm not sure yet. We watched like the first one and the second one the next day, back to back. And then I was about to put on Cobra Kai and she said, I think I need a break. So we'll see.
Yeah.
If we get back to it.
Cobra Kai's got a different vibe, but I think that the final season of it is such a full circle thing. It's truly quite the job.
Which I think really should say something because it's the only show that survived YouTube Red. Like I feel like we forget that was a YouTube show. And I remember watching it when it came out on YouTube and I was like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know. I remember the same. We had YouTube TV at the time.
Yeah. But Karate Kid 1 and 2, fantastic movies. Well,
again,
okay,
man,
Karate Kid 2 is maybe, I wouldn't say Karate Kid 2 is a fantastic movie. It's pretty goofy.
You're talking about my heyday there, man. You're going back. You're going back.
I you know what? I'll say it for that one. Karate Kid Part 1, S-tier 80s movie. Maybe S-tier movie in general. I think Untouchable.
It is an S-tier. It is an S-tier 80s
I agree.
flick. Absolutely.
But that's it for me this week. What about you? What'd you watch?
I saw that I just got all 3 of the Silo books from Broken Binding.
Right.
And I was watching the show on Apple TV Plus, and I got into season 2. I think I got 5 episodes in or something. The pace was a little slow for me, and it's like I don't know, Magpie, something shiny caught my attention, and I just didn't get back to it.
Sure.
And I saw season 3 is coming around, and I was like, okay, there's really something from the books I want to see if they're gonna do. Like I remember when I read the books, and I was like, okay, that's bold. I did not see us going there.
Okay.
And we fully go there in the books. And I wanted to see if this adaptation was going to do it. So I saw season 3 has come out, I think the first episode. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to go back and see and finish up season 2. So where I left off, went back, picked up again, and I left off right before this whole thing starts to go like a train without brakes. So I stopped at exactly the wrong time.
Yeah.
Had a great time, binged the whole rest of the season in like a day.
In a day?
And there's like 10 episodes. I think I had 5 to watch. I think I just sat there in a day and watched all 5. Like it just like took off from the moment I came back.
Holy crap, dude. I gotta watch this show.
And what I will say is the very last moment of the episode of the last episode of season 2, they go there. They actually do it. There's absolutely so much of this adaptation that, wow, that's really, you guys, I'm not going to say scene for scene, like absolutely scene for scene out of the book, but there is so much from the book that it's quite well adapted, extremely well adapted.
Wow.
And they did it at the end of season 2. They do go there. And I was like, oh, yes. I was so excited and so happy. So I'm definitely getting into season 3 this coming week.
So you've not yet seen the first episode of season 3?
I have not.
Okay. All right. But I will be watching it as they come out from now on, I'm sure.
I think I will. I'll catch up and be watching as they come out because I just love that they did it. I love that they did it. It's like, okay, if this is a hit for Apple, maybe they don't want to do it because if you do follow this path,
is it that bold?
Then the ending is in sight. Like you can't stretch this out. You can't add a bunch of stuff and go do. It's like if you kind of do this, the ending's in the pipe. Like you tell your story and get out.
Yeah.
If they continue to follow the recipe that the books lay down. So I'm pretty excited. You should totally check this out. You've watched none of it?
No, I think I've seen half of the first season, but I never finished. I never continued it. It just same thing. Magpie, you see something shiny, you know.
Yeah.
Same deal. Yeah, but I now I really want to catch up because I want to know what you're talking about.
And I got to tell you, man, emotional punch. I'm just gonna say, Steve Zahn in season 2. That guy.
Steve Zahn's in this show?
Love me some Steve Zahn.
Dude, I'm watching it.
And in season 2, he does such a job in season 2. It just, you chuckle, it breaks your heart. He's Steve Zahn. No more needs to be said.
The master himself.
The other thing I watched this week, I watched season 1 of Sugar on Apple TV Plus. So
right.
I went back to watch Silo. Is like, oh, there's season 2 of Sugars. So you know what? There's 3 episodes. Maybe I'll just catch up here with season 2 of Sugar and see where that's going. I'm really enjoying Sugar season 2. Kind of the big thing from season 1. Again, no spoilers here, folks. Is that he's without a support group. He's kind of alone. He's a little bit of a drift here in season 2 as a PI. He doesn't have as many backup support group type of things that he had in season 1 because of the way season 1 went. He's kind of having to rebuild. He's kind of having to start over. He's kind of having to find some answers to some big mysteries that are very personal to him because of everything that happened in season 1. And it's just that LA noir detective with if you watch season 1, there becomes a moment where it's like, okay, I think I can see what the style of this show is. I think I have a good grasp on it. Okay, did not see that. Okay, that's weird. like all along, you're like, there's something a little off kilter, a little weird, and then something happens. You're like, yeah, that's weird. That's weird. But I'm caught up now with season 2 and absolutely enjoying it. Colin Farrell is delightful.
Is that on Apple as well?
Apple TV Plus as well. Apple is
killing it, man. They're doing such a good job.
They're doing such an amazing job. Like every show I've watched on Apple has been like, that's really, I mean, they really do an amazing job. Yeah.
I do wonder if Apple's going to become like the new HBO. Like that'll be where the artistic primetime hits come from.
Here's where I wonder about that, because as you know, HBO is involved in this big merger.
Right.
There's becoming fewer and fewer studios and fewer competition for artists to come up with something truly groundbreaking or pushing of any type of
the CEO
vanguard
of Warner Media, or is it Warner Media? The CEO running HBO's situation right now of all of their selection doesn't want new original media. He wants to use the IPs. That's why they're doing the big Harry Potter show. That was David Zaslav. That's his whole plan.
This is my exact point.
Yeah.
Apple TV is not been bought by anyone. Right. They have deep enough pockets to where, you know what, we don't need mergers and acquisitions here. We're going to just do what we feel passionate about doing. We're going to hire the auteurs and the artists to do what they want to see, the visionaries to come in. And so far, it's paying off in a way that every time I go there to watch something, I feel like I'm watching a storyteller work, as opposed to a corporation put something out that they hope I eat up with a spoon.
Yeah. You even get that with House of the Dragon, which
again, that's IP. That's a major IP.
It is, but I feel like even in the older days, HBO with their big IPs didn't used to be so transparent of how many execs had their hands in the pie. You know what I mean?
Well, it used to be a studio feel. Like it used to be a night. Like Game of Thrones was Sunday night. Everyone kind of waited and sat down, and you had a night of a story. You had a night of television. It had a network feel. It had a studio feel.
Yeah.
That doesn't, even with House of Dragons for me at this point. That's kind of changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if part of that is just the dissolving of the regular weekly release. Like, there's not really. Some people still do it. A lot of people still do it. HBO still does it. Yeah. But there's not technically a reason for it anymore, because not a lot of people have cable.
No, and Apple TV Plus does it, and but you know what? There's the other thing I like about Apple TV Plus right now. Like, if I pay for Netflix, I still have ads.
Yeah, that's true.
If I pay for Prime, I still have ads. If I pay for Peacock or Paramount, I still have ads, unless I want to pay an ungodly amount of money. And I'm sure HBO is probably right around the corner from following this model, because everyone else is doing it.
No, they do it now. You get ads on HBO now.
Do it?
It's been that way for a while now. Yeah.
Now I must pay an ungodly amount of money, I guess. I don't know, but on Apple TV Plus, I pay what I pay, and there's no ads there because I pay what I pay. And it's like, I will say, it's becoming very quickly one of my favorite places to go to look for a story.
I have to agree. Yeah. Also, like, we're going to be talking about streaming services forever, so I'll wrap it up. But another thing that I love and hate about Apple TV is that it does trap you into the Apple ecosystem, but whenever you buy a new Apple device, you get a year of Apple TV.
You get a year of Apple TV, and you can binge everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that year, you buy the new Apple device, and then the new one, and the new one, and then you keep going.
Yeah, you just keep going. They lock you in other ways, I guess.
Oh, they find any way they can, for sure. Yeah, but they make good TV.
They do. That is it for me. That's all I have watched this week.
Fair enough. Well, how about you all? Are you locked into the Apple ecosystem? Let us know everything you've been reading down below. My dad here is going to reply to every single comment that you put down there, just because it's what he likes to do.
Hey, hit that thumbs up button. That helps us meet new people like our correspondents, directors, and producers. Huge shout out and thank you to all of you for helping us keep the lights on and putting episodes out and taking over our channel once a month with Town Square. And then if you haven't hit that subscription button, you know what? You come on board. All it takes is to push a button, boop, and you're in. You hit that subscription button right down there. You join that group. I gotta tell you, you find your people. You just feel a tingle. It absolutely happens. Scientific papers have been written about it.
How sciencey are they?
But quite sciencey. It's right over there. Don't make me reach for it. Don't make me reach for it.
Don't. There's PhDs that just sign off on it and they didn't really read it. You know what I mean? I don't know if can you say it's really peer reviewed if there's peers that like just signed and didn't review?
Let's just get the PhDs up and they will tell you they read every word of it and enjoyed it before they signed off on it.
No, we don't have to do that.
You know what? Thanks for coming. We're not going to listen to any more.
You can't just steamroll me.
I'm steamrolling you and your butt talk.
I'm cutting this out. I edit these. I'm steamrolling you.
We don't have to listen to any more of this muffled words coming out of his pants. It's just butt talk. If you're still here, you're book people, and in our book, that makes you the best people. Thanks so much for joining us here on Talking Story. Say goodbye. See if people can hear you from your pants.
That feels like a performance I want no part of.